Hey, good morning. Welcome to my channel. I am talking today about online dating, and you may ask, you're a fitness professional, why are you giving online dating advice? Well, for one reason, I want you guys to get to know me a little bit better, and I think vlogs are a good way to do that. You can show your personality a little bit more. You guys can get to know like my likes, dislikes, the things I'm into. And so that's why I'm doing my vlog. And beyond that, I actually do feel like I've come up with quite a strategy for online dating. It's been really successful for me, and I feel like it might be helpful for some of you.
Telling me to dance, taking a chance. Telling me to dance, taking a chance.
Okay, so the first thing you have to do when you're online dating is have a plan. Ignore the softbox lights behind me, by the way. I'm now a YouTuber, so I live in a production studio. What does it look like? To me, a plan for online dating means knowing what platforms are gonna work for me. There's so many options out there. The top 3 right now are Tinder, Bumble, and there's a newer one called Hinge. The last one, Hinge, is kind of my favorite one to use, but I do go through some of the other ones when I get sick of it or I feel like I've kind of hit a lull, because you do get into these slumps where you get into there's nothing, and it sometimes is revitalizing to go to a different app and try it out. So have a plan of which ones you're going to use. Create your profiles. Before you create your profiles, though, I encourage you to make a list of what you're looking for. Okay, so what is a list, you say? Okay, so I am a planner. So this is my favorite area. I have built a business based on this philosophy, and I now approach my online dating in the same way. So I feel like you can't draw into your world what you want unless you know what you want. So I create a list of what I want, and I create this list based on my values. I create this list based on previous experience that I was really valuable to me, but it just wasn't the right person. And also I create this list of just what's possible out there, to help me just define my red flags and know when someone is aligned with what I want. So for me, I have fun eyes. I love people that have a good personality, so sense of humor, comfortable when we cuddle, takes me on fun dates, is responsible with money but not cheap, that's important, isn't boring, has lots to talk about, knows how to work out and structures his workouts into his week, is successful, has an artistic brain, is grounded. I have quite a few things on my list. So for you, your list is going to be different than mine, but I encourage you to spend some time thinking about the things that are important to you. Like my friend Sarah has on her list, decent sized penis, and doesn't wear boot-cut jeans unless absolutely necessary. These are things on her list. So your list will be different than my list. Sarah's list is different than everyone's list. So just create a list that suits you. Okay, so when you are thinking about online dating, you have to think about it as integrating any other habit into your life. So as someone who works with people that are trying to change a lot, my number one thing I always suggest to people when they're trying to figure out how to work out is create a schedule. You look at your life, you look at where this can fit in, and you are realistic with your time. So I just literally adopted this principle into my online dating philosophy, and it's worked for me. I looked at it the same way I give tips to people for working out. I was honest with myself about how much time I could dedicate to it. And at different times, you're gonna have more time. Sometimes you have time to work out 3 times a week. Sometimes you only have time to work out once. But being honest with yourself about how much time you have to dedicate this is really important. So create a schedule And if it's Sunday afternoons that you feel at your best and you feel like you're the best able to like be in the groove for an online date, and meet in person, that's your time. If you feel like Thursday nights are better for you, then schedule your dates on Thursday nights. But treat it like any other appointment, treat it with importance, and don't let that person that you've never met take away from time that is precious to you, that you want to do other things. Make this something that is an add in your life versus a takeaway. Otherwise, it will just feel draining. Okay, so you're ready to go out in the wild. Terrifying, right? You're going to use these platforms that we've been talking about. So what does this mean? Well, you're casting a wide net. What does that mean? Cast a wide net. It means don't rule out options without testing the waters, okay? So you don't want to, in my opinion, date the guy that has the most curated profile. So when you're looking out there, don't look at these guys' profiles as them having to put their best face forward. In my experience, men are just not good at creating profiles, at least the ones worth dating. They're busy doing other things. They're playing hockey, they're doing golf, they're not as good at taking photos as we are. It's just who men are. And in my opinion, I don't want to date the guy that has the most curated profile because that tells me that he's a little bit of a narcissist, in my opinion. Anyways, so when you're casting your wide net, be generous, ladies. This is, you know that they have personalities beyond their photos. So just get into it, find kind of something in their profile that appeals to you and just swipe right sometimes or click like, okay? Give them a chance. Okay, I'm crawling back into bed to talk to you about the rest of this. And red flags. Here we go. So know what your red flags are, know what your deal breakers are, and I don't care how hot that guy is, never, ever, ever go out with him if he has them. Next point, do not become pen pals. What this means is if you have not gone on a date within the first week of talking, for me, that's an automatic red flag. Why has this guy not asked you out? If he's that interested that you're talking for a whole week, unless he's randomly away traveling, in that case, you may make an exception. If he has not asked you out within the week and you haven't made a connection there, do not keep talking to this person. You do not want to you do not want to become pen pals because it's at a disadvantage to you. You're building this person up into something that they're not, because anybody can portray themselves however they want through text. They have lots of time to think about responses. They have lots of time to curate who they want you to think that they are. Until you meet them in person, you don't actually know. So do not ever talk to a guy for longer than a week without meeting them in person. Okay, so if you find somebody that you're really into, number one point is just please, please, please don't put all your eggs in one basket. It is really, really hard to know without meeting them in person if they're going to be a good match. And even if you do meet them in person, there's so many red flags that might come up. So keep casting your net, keep finding new leads, and keep talking to other people, and don't become super invested in someone before you know who they really are. I only have a few more points. This one is really important. No food on a first date. I don't care if this guy is very persuasive and you feel like you have a really good connection. I've been on too many bad dinner dates where I have to be there for like an hour and a half when it could have been a half an hour meet and greet, and we could have both met up a second date for dinner. But there's too many variables, ladies. It's too dodgy. No food on a first date. This is a non-negotiable for me. Do what you want with it, but you're gonna save yourself a lot of time and effort if you just meet them for coffee or a drink. It's just a quick screening process and then on with your day. So after you go on this date with this person, if they are not what you were looking for, even if they're close to what you're looking for, but there was red flags there, unfortunately, it's like fishing. If they're not the right size and they're not the right shape or weight, I don't know, I don't actually fish, but you catch and release. The cool thing about meeting people that are close to what you're looking for is it shows you that everything you've done all of your processes are lining you up with people that are meeting your list. This is exciting. This means you're getting close, but unfortunately, the closer you get, the harder it is to release that fish because it's close. I just had one of these. I dated a super, super lovely person. We're still friends for a year, but we both decided that it wasn't a right fit for us, and we released it. We released both of us back into the wild, and it was a great experience. I learned so much from him. I put some of his characteristics on my list, but do not be afraid to release if it's not 100% what you're looking for. Keep looking. Whatever you do, try not to get discouraged. Try not to, if you have a bad date, don't get down on yourself. Not everybody is for everybody, and if a guy doesn't call you back, it happens to all of us. If a guy ghosts you, it happens to all of us. So don't take these things personally. Keep looking. Your person is out there. Keep thinking optimistically. Refine your list. Make sure you think about things like emotionally available. Be honest with yourself if you want kids. You know, all of those things. I haven't quite gotten back on the bandwagon yet after my last relationship, but I'm almost ready. And funny enough, I'll share this little tidbit with you that's kind of fun at the end of the vlog. When I signed up for Tinder again to start this vlog, because I wanted to show you guys what it was, I had it for like one night, and within that time, somebody slid into my DMs on Instagram, and I have been talking to him online, so he seems like a potential candidate, and it'll be interesting to see where that goes. So just don't rule anything out. Who knows? You may just start online dating, and it just opens up your confidence, and you might end up meeting somebody in person. So who knows? Imagine how crazy that would be. Thank you for following my vlog, and if you guys like videos like this and you want to see more of me, I will be doing one a week, and so hit subscribe, and thank you for joining me.